So Gretchen, what else lives in caves?
Perhaps the organisms that are most home in caves are microbes, which are microscopic organisms that are part of our everyday lives. The microbes that live in caves could help us develop new medicines, such as antibiotics. Scientists are also really interested in microbes that live in caves called extremophiles because they have adapted to extreme environments similar to what we might find on other planets. Dr. Boston from NASA is going to tell us more about microbes.
My name is Penny Boston, and I'm an astrobiologist and cave scientist who focuses on geomicrobiology. I work in the United States, in the state of New Mexico, and I visit caves all over the world and look at the microorganisms that live there. I study what they do to the rocks and minerals and unique biosignatures that they may be producing because of those interactions with the minerals. So that's the setting that brings me to caves. And part of the reason that we are tremendously interested in the kinds of life forms that we find in the subsurface is for a number of different reasons. One is because they're very poorly studied here on Earth. There's very little work that has been done on these organisms. So it's an entire area of Earth biology that has only been studied a very little bit. So that's one major aspect of it. The second aspect of it is looking for environments that have different aspects of them that might be important models for life on other planets. So for example, on Earth we have hot caves, we have cold caves, we have acid caves, we have caves with poisonous gases in them. All of these different kinds of examples can inform us about how microbial life rises to the occasion and learns to adapt and live in these kind of environments. One of the other important aspects of caves and space exploration is that we now know that there are many caves on other bodies in the solar system, particularly Mars and Earth's moon. We have detected and mapped many of these features. And so the potential exists for future human use, for human exploration in these kinds of structures. The ability of the rock that is the overlying material over a cave is very good at helping to screen out very high energy ionizing radiation. And this is a major hazard in space flight and space habitation on other planets. And so these natural features, because they already exist in these environments, provide us with an ability to actually modify those for human use with much less payload penalty than if we had to take all of that structure and all of that radiation protection with us. A very important aspect of being in the subsurface and using caves as an analog for extreme environments like other planetary surfaces is because it really is psychologically a transforming experience. When you go into the subsurface for a short trip into a show cave, for example, you don't really feel the full extent of it. But when you explore caves and you are in for many days, your whole sensory abilities are different. You don't hear the same things that you hear on the surface. You don't smell the same smells. You don't feel the wind on your skin in the same way. And so you don't see the same way because you're restricted to the light that you have with you. And so this really is like entering an alien world. It's like going on an expedition to another planet. And so for training people to experience that as a preparation for operations in extreme environments and outer space environments, it's an invaluable analog. And we have used that in many different contexts. And so I recommend it as an experience that all people who are aspiring to go into space or do other very difficult tasks would benefit from.
I want to visit caves on other planets.
That would be amazing. But for now, there's a lot for us still to learn and discover in caves right here on Earth.